Right, for those of you who don't know, just very briefly, welcome aboard the Daniel Adamson. Built in 1903, just over the water at what is now Camel Shipyard. Had a distinguished career, operated up and down the Mersey in the 1920s, to the dock where the new Liverpool Museum is now built on, towing barge between Ellesmere Port and Liverpool and carrying passengers. So she operated like that until 1984, was taken out of service. She was on loan to the Ellesmere Port Boat Museum. They didn't own her, they couldn't spend money on her, the money got tight, conditions started to fall pretty badly, I'd say. By 2004 she was the target of vandals, and she was in a very precarious position. We managed to save her in 2004, we bought the ship famously for £1. That was the easy bit. The last 13 and a half years have been the sort of the uphill struggle, if you like. However, with a fantastic band of volunteers, I'm delighted to see so many of them here today. Some of them who go back to 2004 with us, who were here in the very, very early days. It was all about digging the mud and the rubbish out of the bilges and getting rid of all the old stuff and trying to record what we had through to where we are now. Without the volunteers, this is very much a volunteer-led operation. Without all those volunteers, in all the multitude of roles that they've done, whether it be a trustee, whether it be a retired naval architect, whether it be a joiner, whether it be someone who stokes the boiler, that huge range of volunteers, without that this ship would not be here today. There's no two ways about that. The money from the Heritage Lottery Fund, of course, that was fantastic. That cemented it all together. The £3.6 million was a wonderful event for us to be able to secure that funding. But I say, without the volunteers in place, just be able to prove to the Heritage Lottery Fund that we could run the ship standing alone with very, very few staff, but mainly with volunteers, was a difficult thing to prove, but we did prove it, and we proved we can do that. So here we are today. We've just finished our first season. This is our year one coming to an end, if you like. We're in steam today. We're about to move light ship through to our berth at Sandon Dock, where we have our workshops. We haven't got a lot of time left. There's been a lot of work on the last 6 weeks while we've been laid up here. So it's quite a busy programme between now and the sort of last week in March, which is Easter. And you know, this is the sort of the never-ending conveyor belt of keeping a historic ship up and running. But it's been a lovely, really nice way of sitting the season off with this wonderful award today. I'm delighted that Gareth Jones from the Institute of Mechanical Engineers is with us today. And I'll pass you over to Gareth to say a few words about the award and what this means.
Thank you very much, Dan. The Institution of Mechanical Engineers had the Heritage Award scheme. It was set up about 33 years ago now, and been very successful. I'm pleased to know that the Daniel Adamson is the 114th one that we've actually awarded. Very proud as the Institution of Mechanical Engineers to bring Daniel Adamson into the club of the Heritage Awards.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, it's a huge honour for us, as I say. It's been a really interesting year. I think that's the term to use for us. Very proud of the fact that we've managed to undertake all the cruises we want to undertake this year. But I think the quality of the restoration, thanks to Camel Airs for all the work they did. She was over at Camel Shipyard for nearly 12 months, and all the work that our volunteers did, certainly mechanically in the engine room with all the steam engines that were overhauled internally. The fact that the reliability of the vessel was second to none this year. We had very, very few what I call technical problems. You know, the vessel, the 1903 technology has operated faultlessly. So to be able to get an award like this that recognises the vessel as an engineering asset to the UK, and something which is unique and is preserved and will be preserved going forwards, I'd say it's a massive, I think, doff of the cap from the Institute to our volunteers, to Camel Airs and to everybody else who's been involved in the project over the last 13 and a half years. So we're delighted to receive this award, absolutely delighted.
So without further ado, I'll present the plaque to Dan. For those of you who can't read it, it says the last Engineering Heritage Award to Daniel Adamson, the last operational coal-fired tender in the UK. Launched from Birkenhead in 1903, the Danny spent the next 80 years working on the Mersey and the Manchester shipping. Her two Liverpool-built steam engines and twin screws gave high manoeuvrability and power needed for work on the ship. And that's stated. Right.